Hello, this video is the first in our Star Trek Online Shipbuilding Basics series. In this series, we will go over everything you need to know to set up your character and ships, with both beginner and budget-friendly options, as well as premium endgame setups. In this video, we will be going over your character skill tree and also your primary and secondary specializations. This skill tree is for a fully leveled character, but if you are new to the game, you can use this video as a guide to fill in your skill tree as you level. The skill tree is divided into two sections, space and ground. You will have 46 points to spend in the space section and 10 points to spend in the ground section. We are going to start with the ground section as it is the simplest. This game's ground combat is very much based around the saying, the best defense is a strong offense. Rather than focus on spending points in health and shield stats, it is far more effective to put everything into your weapons and kit modules so that you kill the enemy before they can do significant amounts of damage to you. As such, for the ground tree, we are going to fully fill in the top left tree, which is your weapon skills, and the bottom right tree, which is your kit module skills. At the bottom, we need to choose our perks. The odd-numbered perks are just for what abilities you can train your bridge officers in. This is 100% personal preference. Whichever ability you do not choose, you can simply buy the training manuals off the exchange for a fairly low price. The even-numbered perks are what matters here. For number 2, you will want to choose device expertise. This will boost all your ground consumables and is very impactful. For number 4, you want to choose improved aim. On PC, with default key binds, when you press X to go into aim mode, this will increase your damage even more than normal. For number 6, you can choose either. I go with Fatal Fists personally, but melee builds are not recommended in general. For number 8, you want improved flank damage, and for number 10, you want offensive mastery. That is it for the ground skill tree. Now we will take a look at the space skill tree. Space is a little more complicated, divided into engineering, science, and tactical sections, with 5 different rank unlocks. To unlock each rank, you must spend the required number of skill points in the ranks that come before it. In this skill tree, we will primarily be focusing on the tactical tree. There are 2 reasons for this. First, the tactical tree gives us the most damage buffs, and second, we want to be able to use the tactical tree's max level perks, which we will get into more later. So starting off with the lieutenant rank skills, in the engineering section, we will put 3 points in hull capacity. We do this for 2 reasons. First, the extra survivability from having more hit points, and second, because we will gain additional critical chance from the reputation trait Tyler's Duality for having more hull capacity. We will put 3 points into both energy weapon training and projectile weapon training in the tactical sections. It is best not to have to be reworking your skill tree often, so even if you don't use torpedoes currently, it is good to have the skill points filled in just in case you decided to at a later date. At this point, we have unlocked the Lieutenant Commander section. In this section, we will put 2 points to get improved EPS flow and 3 points into impulse expertise. We will also put 2 points into control expertise and 3 points into targeting expertise. In the Commander section, we skip the 2 engineering skills. Damage control looks good at first, but the regeneration is reduced by 80% while in combat, making this skill very underwhelming. We will also skip over science in this section. We will put 3 points in weapon amplification and weapon specialization, increasing our critical damage and critical chance. In the Captain section, we will put 3 points into exotic particle generator. This will buff the damage of gravity well, anti-time entanglement, and other science abilities. While it might not apply to every ship you play, it is a good skill to have unlocked as you may want it on some builds. Next, we have 3 points in long-range targeting sensors. This will reduce the range penalty on energy weapons from up to 50% to a maximum of 20%, greatly increasing your overall damage. We will also put 3 points into hull penetration and shield penetration. In the Admiral section, we will put 3 into coordination protocols. In team content, usually everyone will run 3 points in coordination protocols to buff the entire team. Shield mastery looks good, but unless you are planning to do PvP, It is not recommended as most PvE enemies have a critical chance of 2.5%, making the skill useless. Now you have 6 points left over. The first 3 of these points need to be spent in tactical to fully unlock the ultimate. Personally, I recommend 1 point in tactical readiness and 2 points in defensive maneuvering. The reason for only 1 point in tactical readiness is with our personal space traits, it is unlikely any cooldown reduction will have an impact, so you might as well increase your defense rating with defensive maneuvering. Now you have 3 points left. You can spend these points anywhere you wish. But my recommendation is Warp Core Potential, Warp Core Efficiency, and Offensive Subsystem Tuning. All 3 of these get you a little more power for your ship. Always a good thing to have. Now that your space skill tree is filled out, we need to select your perks. Under Engineering, for your first choice, you want Battery Expertise to increase the battery duration. Batteries are very important in space combat, which we will get into more in a later video. For the second choice, you want Maximum Hull Capacity. Under Science, I recommend Sector Space Travel Speed, but either choice is fine. For Tactical Hangar Weaponry is recommended for the first choice, then Projectile and Energy Critical Chance, and for the last one, Accuracy Rating. Now we come to the ultimate. The ultimate is not impacted by your captain's career choice. Any type of captain can use any ultimate. Since we spent 27 points in tactical, we will be able to fully unlock the tactical ultimate. So go ahead and choose all 3 unlocks for the ultimate. This ultimate will allow you to mark a target. When you or your team damage a marked target, you will get Firing Cycle Haste, increased weapon damage, and Bridge Officer Ability cooldown reduction. This concludes the skill tree section of this video. Before we start on specializations, a quick word from our sponsor, Lobi Consortium. Lobi Consortium has everything you need for your Star Trek Online adventures. The latest promotional, lockbox, and Lobi ships, energy credits, master keys, costumes, and more. Lobi Consortium is run by long-time players of Star Trek Online with extensive knowledge of the game. When you buy from Lobi Consortium, you can expect fast, professional, and discreet service. Check out lobiconsortium.com today. Now on to specializations. For our primary specialization, I recommend Intelligence. The 2 main benefits of using Intel specialization are Flanking Damage, which provides a 10% damage, 15% crit damage, and 5% critical chance buff when you hit the enemy from behind, and Intelligence Fleet, which will provide a shield and armor penetration buff for you and your entire team for 30 seconds. For our secondary specialization, I recommend Strategist, which will provide you with a critical chance and damage buff. This concludes our skill tree and specializations video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe for more Star Trek Online videos. Be sure to check out our next video in this series covering personal space traits. See you out there.